Eric with West Dallas Blue. Today I'm going to go over with you how to configure your Smartworks MFP5. So the first thing I do once the software is launched is I click Settings and Program Preferences, and I leave Copy on, I leave Scan on, but I turn off Copy and Archive, I turn off Print, I turn off Edit, and to turn them off you just tap them, it'll go toggle on and off. And then on page 2, or the second bubble, I change the units from inches or from millimeters to inches. Then I go home and you'll just have the 4 icons. I go back to Settings and I go down to Administrator Program Settings. And I'm going to change the default folder to where all of the scans go. Now, a lot of the time for customer installs, what I do is I have a share somewhere on their server, somewhere on their network that every user has access to, and I map a drive to that location on the scanner's computer. Then once I do that, I come in here and I click on this. It's going to open this window. In this case, I'm just going to change it to a folder that is on my desktop that I just made, which is called Scans. And I will hit OK. And then it'll reflect that. Otherwise, if you have a mapped drive, you click it and you go this PC, and your map drives should be there. And you will click your map drive wherever you want it to go and hit OK, and it's going to reflect that location here. And again, we're going to go back home. And so now when we click Scan, it will show us where the scan location, where the files are going to be sent. Again, in this case, it's just staying local on the C drive. But typically for customer installs, it will be like the Z drive or whatever drive letter I want to associate with it. But it'll be the centralized scan location so all users can have access to it. We're going to change a couple of presets. Again, these are the common presets that I make for customers. So we're going to go Settings, Presets, Scan. And you can see right now, this is all the default presets, well, minus these bottom ones. But these are all the defaults, color graphics, photo lines, etc. The first thing I always do is I turn off color graphics, color photo, gray photo, gray graphics. So all the color lines, the gray lines, I leave those two on. Now this is ideal for an architect or an engineer or somebody that's going to be just scanning in blueprints, plans, line drawings. If you're going to be scanning in more high-end imagery, you may want to leave the color graphics and all the higher end scans on. But again, for my typical customer base, I turn these off just to simplify and give them less options so there's less confusion. It's a little bit easier for the use of the scanner. We hit home. Now it's time to scan. You take your document, you put it into your scanner, image facing up. The scanner will grab it, pull it in, and when the media stops, it will tell you the media width down here. This is very important before you move on with your scan, that this media width is correct. If the media width is correct, then we go on and choose our preset. If it is not correct, use the down arrow, feed the media back out to you, and reload it. Now we're going to choose the preset, and this is going to be the preset closest to what it is we're trying to scan. So if it's a black and white document, you don't want to necessarily scan it in with color. It's going to make the file much larger. In this case, the document does have a little bit of color on it, so we're going to select color lines. I'm going to hit OK. And down here, I'm going to leave the quality at standard. It's scanning to the PC because this is where I'm scanning it to. And the file type that I want is PDF. Now, if you so choose, you can change the file type. Changing it here would be temporarily, so we click on file type, and we can choose a bunch of different file types: multi-page PDF, JPEG, TIFF, PDF archive, DWF. But again, this is one sheet. We're going to make it a PDF. We have our preview mode turned on. So we will hit the green start button. The scanner is going to start scanning in the document. And there is our document. So at this screen, when you still see the image, it is not yet saved. This would be the preview screen, or as I sometimes explain it, it's almost a editing screen. So from here, if it was slightly crooked, you can click on deskew. And when you do that, it brings up these little diamonds. And what you can do is you separate the diamonds, and you put that line on a line that's supposed to be straight in the drawing. And when that line's on there, you hit OK, and it will turn the document a little bit left or right to straighten it out. You can also click on rotate, and it will rotate your image in 90-degree increments, and you can keep clicking. It will rotate full 360 degrees. You have the ability to adjust your black points and your white points. Same thing with your brightness and your contrast. Now, when you click on that and you get to playing with this, this is a use at your own risk. It is very important that you pay close attention to detail here, because the higher, we'll say the white point. Say we want to put the white point up more. Well, you can see just in a little bit, I'm starting to lose my image. And if this was small text or fine lines, it would disappear even quicker. So it's very important that you're aware of the small, important details that you may be erasing, essentially. Once you are happy with what you see on the screen, you click the green button, and that will save it. And if you aren't happy with it, you can hit the trash can icon and discard it. So that is how you run a scan. Now, copy is very similar. Under copy, again, we're going to put our document in so that we can see the width media that it is. Make sure that it's reflecting the exact size, or in this case, the document I have is 24.0 with this 24.1. That's not going to make any difference. We're going to choose our preset that is closest. In this case, I'm going to choose color lines. We are going to tell it how many copies we want to make and at what scale and what quality. Typically quality, most of our customers leave it at standard. However, you can go down to draft or you can go up to high. Scaling, again, this would be another, you could leave it at 100%. You could adjust scaling. I have seen better success when customers scan the document in and then they print it out at what size they want it to be rather than trying to figure out the scale through a copy. The nice thing about Smartworks MFP5 now is they give you the ability to run sets so you can make a copy of a set of plans. And to do that, we simply turn sets on. Again, make sure your preset is correct. We're going to hit the green start button. And I only have one document to scan in, but we'll say this was 10 pages. Once the first scan is in, you can see our diamond is blue instead of green like scan. We would take our next page and we would put it in, and the scanner would start automatically. You do that through all the pages in your set. Once you send your final page through, you hit your blue button, and it's going to ask you, do you want to scan, last page, print, or cancel? I'm going to select print, and then it's going to ask you, what order do you want them in? So say you had 10 sets of 3 pages. Do you want them to go 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, all of 1, all of 2, all of 3, etc.? In this case, it's just one page, so I'm just going to leave it at 1, 2, 3. I'll hit OK. And it's going to take that image, or those images, and it's going to send it to the printer to print out however many copies of the number of pages in your set that you told it to print. So that would be how you scan in multiple sets, make copies of multiple sets. Going back to scan, I'm sorry, I know I'm jumping back and forth a little bit here. scanning multiple sets or multiple pages in a set, you can turn batch mode on. And if you would like, Smartworks MFP5 also offers you the option now for file type to be a multi-page PDF. So what that means is if you have 5 pages in a set that need to be scanned in and sent to a customer, an architect, whoever the case may be, you can choose your preset. In this case, we'll do color PDF, and then multi-page PDF and turn batch mode on. And now when we put our first document in, we'll hit the green start button. And again, I only have 1 page, so I'm just going to act like we ran multiple pages in. Here's our first page. We would grab our second page if need be, put it in the scanner, and it's going to start to scan automatically. You'll do that through all the pages. Then you will click the blue diamond, and it's going to ask you, do you want to scan the next page? Do you want to rescan? Do you want to finish, cancel? We'll select finish. Now, say this was a 5-page document. Now that multi-page PDF is going to have all 5 pages under one multi-page PDF. So you can send that out as a package instead of 5 individual files. Do take note that multi-page PDFs, especially color, will be larger. Color files in general are larger, and then when you combine 4, 5, 6 pages, it does get to be a pretty large file, in which case most servers can't handle sending out or receiving. So you just want to be conscious of the size files that you're going to be trying to send out. So just to recap everything we went over, settings, and this would be how to change the program preferences. I turn off copy and archive. I turn off print. I turn off edit. On page 2, I make the units inches instead of millimeters. Back under settings, under administrative program settings, I change the default scan folder. In this case, it's just a local folder on my desktop. Back under settings again, presets, scan. This is where I turn on and off the needed or unneeded scan presets. Now, mind you, this is just scan presets. This is not copy presets. So for the scan presets, I turn off a bunch. And then from the home screen, scan. When you put your document in, make sure on the bottom left it tells you the proper width. The next step after that is to choose the preset closest to the document that you're scanning in. Make sure the file type is the correct file type that you want to use. If you have multiple pages, you can turn batch mode on, and that will still, under PDF, it's still going to scan in individual files. It's just going to save you the added steps of hitting save, waiting for it to save, putting the next document in and hitting start. Otherwise, under multi-page PDF file type, that green diamond is blue, and it's one after the other. You put one document in, and then the next, and it combines all those files into one large file. Copy. Again, always make sure that the media width is correct in the bottom left corner, and then choose the preset closest to the original that you're making a copy of. Change the quality if desired. How many copies you want to make, at what scale. If it's sets, you can turn the sets on. And then when you put your first document in, you hit start. If it's sets, it's going to be, again, one after the other. If it's just one page you're making a copy of, you put your document in, hit the green start button. It will show you on the screen what it's going to make a copy of. You hit the little diamond here. It's going to send that information to your printer, and it will print out the one page or however many copies you told it to print. That's a very crash course, very quick. That's kind of a how I set this software up. Now, every customer, every person is a little bit different. They may want some presets turned on. They may want even more turned off. They may want a custom preset made with a certain file type. But typically, PDF, color lines, black and white, gray lines are the main ones that we see. The multi-page PDF is a nice added feature that is built in to Smartworks MFP5 now, whereas the old versions you had to pay to upgrade the software. Multi-page PDF, we just talked about that. So Again, thanks for watching. This is Derek with West Dallas Blue. Any questions, any issues, anything you want to maybe discuss a little bit further, feel free to visit our website, westdallasblue.com. That is WESTALLISBLUE.com. All of our contact information is there, the office number. My name is Derek. I'm the service guy. We'll see you next time.